He goes to school with a delinquent named Pack, who is a YouTuber with over 700,000 subscribers who does daily live streams. He pretends to be a cool, nice guy, but in actuality he is just another bully who likes to step on weak people. Viewers still flock to his channel, and using his influence, he launches another classmate named Rumi, who has no brain, but was gifted with a good amount of beauty. He tells his audience to head over to Rumi's channel, as they also have a live model for them, which Rumi practiced her makeup on. This poor model turns out to be none other than Hobin, who is smeared with black and white paint alongside red lipstick. The entire stream makes fun of him and his stupid makeup, while Pack simply laughs at him alongside the rest of his class. He then walks towards Hobin and tells him to smile for the camera in a very threatening tone, but a humiliated Hobin is barely able to fake a smile, before running away to the washroom as soon as the camera turned away from him. He washes his face viciously to try to get all of the paint off of his face, before returning to the class, where he is immediately dropkicked by a blonde guy named Snap, who is Pack's cameraman. Snap doesn't have any bravado like Pack, or beauty like Rumi, but he is a strategist and uses his mind to piggyback on Pack's success. He proceeds to kick Hobin relentlessly while he is on the ground, accusing him for not smiling in front of the camera as instructed. When Hobin finally has had enough and gives him a deathly glare, which scares Snap immediately and he stops, he keeps his composure and turns around to make sure Pack has got his back, and Pack tells him that Hobin can't even fight a mosquito. Meanwhile, Rumi checks her account and claims that just for that short stream, she was able to earn $200, which surprises Hobin as they barely streamed for 30 minutes and did absolutely nothing apart from yapping their mouths and insulting him. Hearing this, Snap also sits down and starts thinking out loudly about how even he should open a YouTube channel and earn money, because Pack doesn't share the revenue with him, even though he is his cameraman. Snap finally gets up and walks up to Pack before telling him that he is thinking of opening his own channel and asks what would he need for that. Pack tells him that he can't really open a YouTube channel yet as he is still below 18 years of age and will need someone's bank account who is above 18 to open it. He claims that he can't use his parents' ID as he once stole money from them, but then turns around towards Hobin and very rudely asks him whether his mom died yet. This really catches Hobin as he never expected someone to be this cruel. Snap continues by saying that if his mom is not dead yet, then he should give him her bank account so that he could start a channel. Pack and the others start laughing at this while Hobin sits on the ground with curled fists, but doesn't have the courage to fight his bullies. Later that evening, he goes over to the hospital to meet his mother, who asks what happened to his face. But he lies about how he fell over a set of stairs before going to the reception, where he learns that the weekly hospital charges are $200. He pays the bill before heading back to his part-time job at McDonald's, where he thinks about how $200 is what he earns in a week, whereas these terrible people who have rich parents and everything else in their life easily earn hundreds of dollars without doing anything in minutes. While he was feeling miserable, one of his beautiful new co-workers named Bomi asks him where the Burger King foot lettuce is. He directs her towards the deep freezer, and Bomi thanks him while the other co-workers immediately start offering to help her retrieve the item. But she thanks them and moves on. This made him feel a little happy, but his happiness was short-lived as Pack enters the restaurant alongside Snapper while live streaming himself. He walks straight up to the counter and tells his audience that he has arrived at the restaurant to see the worker who has been blowing up on social media for her beauty. He then looks at Bomi and tells her that he has got a challenge for her and shows her a burger, telling her to cook it under 30 seconds, otherwise she will have to give him his number. Bomi doesn't know how to reply, when suddenly Hobin appears out of nowhere, with the exact burger in the picture, claiming that he created it within 30 seconds, asking Pack to leave as he is disturbing other customers. Pack is surprised by this and doesn't say anything because he was on stream, but leaves the restaurant. That night, Snap comes over to his house and starts live streaming himself playing a game on his mother's account, while forcing Hobin to cook ramen for him. He overhears Snap saying that one of the donations promised to donate $300 if he scored 30 kills. Hobin hears all this with hatred burning through his heart as he spits inside the ramen to get back at him. While he was bringing the food back to Snap, he ends up tripping on the computer cable, and the screen disconnects just as Snap was about to get 30 kills, while the entire pot of ramen goes flying straight at his face as they collide. Snap immediately gets up and starts kicking Hobin relentlessly, telling him to pay $300, while Hobin thinks about how miserable he must be to get beaten up in his own house like this. While kicking him, however, Snap ends up cursing his mother, saying that she deserved to get cancer. This turns a switch inside Hobin, who gets up with anger in his eyes and delivers a strong uppercut. Snap is surprised but starts punching him back as the fight, while Hobin grabs some kimchi and slaps him in the face. Hobin then grabs the pot and bonks him in the head before they start an all-out brawl with kimchi and pots, unknown to the fact that the light of the camera was still glowing and they were still getting streamed online. Later that night, with bruises all over his body and his entire room destroyed, he switches off the main circuit before heading back to sleep as he thinks about all the new expenses that he has to cover. The next morning, he is woken up by a caller who turns out to be Snap as he shouts at Hobin for uploading the video of their fight and tells him to delete the stream. Hobin has no idea what the hell is he talking about and tells him that the stream must have ended when he tripped over the wire. But just then he realizes that the wire belonged to the monitor and not the CPU, which means that the screen got turned off. But the stream was still live. Snap cries about how the fight has been uploaded on YouTube and has went viral ever since. He tells Hobin to give him the password as it's his mom's account, so he can't even delete it himself. Hobin immediately cuts his call and opens YouTube only to see their fight on the front page and all the comments completely roasting them. He completely loses hope as he thinks now not only his classmates, but the entire world will bully him. He was about to delete it when he notices a comment claiming that he could get paid a lot of money for the views he got. He immediately checks his views, which are over 10 million in one night, which means he earned over $10,000 in one night. Back in school, everyone has already seen the video and start making fun of Snap the moment he enters the room. He realizes that he needs to get his ranking in the class back, so he decides to bully a nerd and slaps him on the head, only for the fat nerd to swing a backhand at his face before he jumps on top of him and starts punching him in the face. He looks towards Pac for help only to realize that he is laughing his ass off watching him get pounded. Meanwhile, Hobin walks out of the hospital by paying some additional fees for his mother when he gets punched by Snap. He grabs his collar and starts asking for half his money, but Hobin breaks his eggs in half and tells him to piss off as he won't pay anything. They start fighting in the middle of the street, and by the end of the evening they both sit on a park bench where Hobin tells Snap that he isn't going to pay him a penny. But Snap reveals that he recorded their fight from a hidden camera and will upload it online, while lying that this was all scripted just like the viral fight video, destroying Hobin's online reputation. He then proposes to Hobin that they should become a team and work together, as he has already been recording, editing, and uploading Pac's videos till now, which is why he became so successful in the first place. He promises to be his producer and deal with everything, while the only thing Hobin will have to do is appear on camera. He thinks Hobin is just a dumb nerd and tells him that since he is producing the videos, he will get 90% money while Hobin gets 10%. It seemed like Hobin was about to agree, but says psych at the last moment and shows him the middle finger, telling him he is not as dumb as he looks, and starts walking away. Snap starts getting desperate, offering him 60% of the cut, and then 80% before finally bending his knees and offering him the 90% cut while he takes 10%. Hobin finally turns around and asks what his plan is, and Snap reveals that they will do live bully confrontations where Hobin calls out bullies and stands up to them in front of the camera, promising that this will make both of them very rich and that Hobin will never have to work or worry about bills again. The next morning when he goes back to school, he is surprised to see that Pac includes both him and Snap into his stream, as the viewers really wanted to see the guys from the viral stream. Pac starts acting as if he is friends with them and starts using them to gain more viewers and subscribers before telling both of them to act normal and to greet the stream. Snap tells Hobin that he should do something as this punk is capitalizing on their viral video, but Hobin tells him that this isn't the right time and that they should wait. Soon enough, Pac was about to end his stream and tells the viewers that the giveaway winners will be announced soon, and the first prize is a full PC setup worth $2,000. Just at that, Hobin screams from behind and shouts that Pack is full of shit and is lying straight to the viewers' faces, as it is all a scam. He shouts about how Pack pretends to be a good guy in front of the camera, but actually he is just a bully who enjoys tormenting people smaller and weaker than him. Hobin doesn't stop here and takes his shirt out to show a bunch of bruises as a proof that Pack has bullied him almost every day of school and has hurt him for no reason, and claims that he will be uploading everything to his channel, so they should check it out. People gather all around the classroom thinking that Hobin finally lost his mind and is probably going to die today, while Pack simply stares down at him with anger in his eyes. Snap is happy with whatever is happening, as this will drive Pack's viewers to their channels instead. Suddenly Pack starts smiling and shows that the battery of his phone died and the stream ended a while ago, which means that all of this was in vain. Pack pulls back his hands and delivers an insanely strong slap to Hobin's face and starts slapping him relentlessly, while everyone watches from afar. Thankfully, Snap is smarter and anticipated this, so he already started the stream on their channel and starts recording Hobin getting a beating from Pack. They start getting more than 33,000 viewers and a lot of subscribers, while the comments all seem to be against Pack and his bullying. He keeps getting beaten up, but to Snap's surprise, instead of backing down, Hobin gets ready for a fight. This enrages Pack, who shows off his big muscles and gang tattoos to intimidate Hobin, who trembles like a twig in the wind. While thinking about the moves he has seen in the movies and hoping they would work out, Pack starts making fun of Hobin's mother and her disease, which pisses him off, and he rushes in to tackle Pack to the ground. But to no one's surprise, Pack stays standing as there is a massive weight difference between them. Pack simply laughs and grabs Hobin before slamming him to the ground and knocking the air out of him. Hobin thinks about how fighting someone his own size was so much easier compared to fighting someone bigger and stronger. Just when he thought that his beating was over, Pack looks at him and tells him that he is not done yet. He raises his fists to hit him some more, when a red-haired guy tells them to keep it quiet as he is trying to sleep. Pack immediately turns around angrily and tells the guy to shut up before he gets a beating as well. But the guy simply raises his head, and it turns out that the redhead is Kim, who is a rising MMA star. This scares the daylights out of Pack, who starts acting like a coward and apologizes for shouting and leaves the classroom as Hobin lies on the floor. That night, Pack recharges his phone, glad that his battery died at such a lucky moment. But the moment his phone turns on, he is barraged by a slew of questions about whether the giveaway was fake, as he checks to see that the entire fight has been uploaded on YouTube. Hobin takes a shower and looks at his beautiful mug in the mirror, happy that he got the upper hand on Pack, as right now they are trending on every social media platform, and generally the people are sympathizing with Hobin. Pack tries to make an apology video claiming that it was all a mistake, but ends up editing it wrong and includes the part where he smiles and talks about how his viewers are dumb enough to believe him. That was pretty much the end of career for him, as he tries to bounce back by making videos donating to the farmers, doing more giveaways, and trying everything to gain back his followers, but nothing works and his followers keep dipping by the second. He soon has less than 200,000 subscribers, while he used to have 700,000, and becomes completely irrelevant. Meanwhile, Hobin's channel blows up, and he gets 100,000 subscribers in no time with only 2 videos on the channel. One day, Snap tells him that he needs to last in a fight more than at least 3 minutes, because that's when they will be able to put ads on the video and earn more money from it. The problem is that Hobin doesn't know how to fight, so that night he goes back home and starts searching up about different martial arts when he stumbles upon a channel with 0 subscribers, but a huge number of videos. He has no idea why would someone make videos for no viewers, but ends up watching one of them where the weird man named Sam wears a chicken mask and teaches him some of the basics for a fight. He doesn't think much of it and goes back to sleep. And the next day he quits his part part-time job to focus more on his channel. And upon hearing this news, Bully walks up to him and asks for his phone number as she wants to keep in touch. Hobin is beyond himself as he can't believe someone as pretty as her would want to talk. The next morning he goes back to school, but his entire attention is on his phone as he texts Bully with a creepy smile on his face. Snap slithers on his desk and asks what's up with him and whether he learned how to fight better. Hobin replies that he is trying to learn, but it's not that easy. When suddenly Rumi approaches them and asks whether they would want to stream together. Hobin and Snap are stunned to hear this and start salivating at the opportunity, but Hobin asks why would she want to stream with them, as she is supposed to be Pack's friend. She immediately changes teams and tells them she hates Pack, and that her viewers want to see Hobin on the channel. While they were being happy about their newfound respect, Pack enters the room seething with anger, as Hobin is the one who destroyed his channel and his life. Suddenly, the advice given by the Chicken Man flashes in front of Hobin, and he remembers that an angry opponent is the easiest to deal with. Pack takes out his shirt ready for a fight, while Hobin is too scared to move. Pack swings at him angrily but misses, which angers him even more. He pulls his fists back for another strike, but Hobin decides to face him straight on. Thankfully, Snapper immediately starts recording the entire fiasco and makes fun of Hobin by saying that his camera is faster than Pack's punches. Pack stops at the last moment, but threatens to take his revenge one day. The next day, Hobin waits out near a park for Snap to discuss where to take their channel, when a couple stops by him and tell him that they are huge fans. Hobin starts feeling pretty good about it, but they end up completely robbing Hobin of everything he had. Snap arrives at the last moment to help, but gets slept by a single punch, while the guy grabs Hobin's phone and takes it with him. Hobin realizes that he can't let it go as it has Bully's contact information inside, and Snapper eggs him on to fight the bully as the viewers are itching for another video. Hobin removes his cap and hoodie and announces that he is going to fight and win against that robbing hooligan. He follows the goon back to a karaoke bar, where he was chilling with his girlfriend, and after collecting his courage, he tells the man to hand his phone back to him as he has something very important in it. The hooligan tells him to piss off before he beats him up. But Snap is recording everything, and even Hobin knows that this is way too good of an opportunity to let go of. Hobin starts remembering the cockman and how he said that they should first figure out the dominant arm of their opponent. Hobin realizes that the hooligan must be right-handed because he is holding the mic in that hand. If your opponent is right-handed, switch over to their left side, making it hard for them to reach you with a punch. The hooligan stands up as he looks at Hobin, who seems ready to square up. He tells Hobin that he might not even be able to walk back once he is done with him, so it would be better for him to run away. But Hobin calmly remembers the wise words of the Chicken Man, who told him to stand in such a way where there is an obstacle on the left side, forcing them to use only their right hand, which would be easier to intercept. The hooligan jumps up for an attack as Hobin remembers that normal people move their shoulders a lot while punching, which gives him enough time to react, and he shoves his head right into the punch, blocking it literally with his face. This shocks everyone as even after being hit full force, Hobin barely seems to be affected by this. This is because the punch is at its strongest when it is extended to its full potential, but if you end up moving your head into the punch, you prevent it from generating as much power. In this way, he can get hit in the face without really getting hit or feeling pain. Snap can't believe it as he thinks Hobin is not even defending and simply taking the beating, while the chat wonders whether Hobin's brain matter exploded. Hobin, however, has a strategy as he remembers the cockman telling him to basically keep his chin down and headbutt the fist. The hooligan gets pissed at his own incompetence and throws another wide punch. But Hobin is too late to react with a headbutt. But to his surprise, he barely moves out of the way and the punch misses. This reminds me of the Chicken Man claiming that it's not possible for a normal human being to react perfectly to every punch. But it's also not possible for a normal human to hit every single punch if the target is moving around a lot. This technique is known as weaving, which is oftentimes used in boxing to dodge punches randomly, and making it harder for the opponent to hit a clean shot. The hooligan gets even more mad and gives way to his emotions, punching wildly at every moment possible, while Hobin simply bobs and weaves to evade most of the punches, making the goon look like a total failure. Even the chat doesn't know what the hell is going on, and whether all of this is scripted. The hooligan finally manages to make contact, but again Hobin blocks the punch with his goddamn face, shocking the hooligan. As he asks for his phone back one more time, he screams at the goon that he needs to text Bulmy. But the goon doesn't know what the hell is he talking about, and the fight resumes. He starts blocking the fists with his forehead once again, while Snap has no idea how the hell is he getting hit so many times. Even the goon is confused as he can't understand why Hobin isn't even trying to dodge. Hobin, on the other hand, feels extremely stupid for not watching the rest of the vids, because the only video he watched only talked about defense and how to block punches, which means that he has no idea what to do after that. He stands there crying about not knowing what to do, while Snap realizes that this is bad for the viewership. The pack fight was swift and conclusive with explosive action, whereas this fight is being dragged out for too long, while nothing is happening except from the goon throwing punches, and Hobin getting hit in the face. He realizes that they might lose viewers because of this constant repetition of the same moves and wonders whether he should intervene in between and stop the fight before they lose too many viewers. He was just about to switch the stream off when a familiar name erupted in the chat by the name of Kim. This is the redhead guy that studies in Hobin's class who is on his way to become a young MMA sensation. He claims in the chat that all of them are stupid who think Hobin is losing his fight, as he bets that he would be the last man standing. The chat doesn't really think he is correct, but unlike those keyboard warriors, Kim knows what he is talking about and tells the chat that they need to pay closer attention to the goon's fists. According to him, the goon didn't realize the amount of damage he was doing to his own knuckles, all this while because of the adrenaline pumping through him. But the moment the adrenaline dies out, he will start feeling an insane level of pain. Just on cue, the hooligan realizes that his fists have swollen up and a sharp pain enters his entire body as her starts rolling around on the floor, while Hobin watches in disbelief. After the fight, they get outside, where Snap realizes that Hobin's hospital bills might end up taking all of the money that they earned from this stream. But he thinks of it as an investment, as they earned a lot of new followers as well. Thankfully, Hobin gets his phone back and starts texting Bulmy, while Snap turns the stream off. That week alone, they got 1 million views on their channel, and even though they only had 4 videos, they racked over 25 million views on the channel in total. After a couple of days, they finally received their first payment, which was around $10,000. They were overjoyed at this, as Hobin starts thinking about how they need to stream some more. But Snap tells him that they are just being lucky as they didn't get monetized. Hobin, the illiterate animal, doesn't even know what demonetization means. So Snap explains that the green mark means that the gods of YouTube are happy and you will get paid. But if the yellow mark comes on a video, which usually happens when your content has too much violence, it will mean that your video got demonetized and that you won't earn any money from it. While they were talking, they suddenly noticed the thought from their classroomie, who was streaming and being fake cute about her life. She suddenly notices Snap and Hobin and immediately tries to get them into her stream to steal their viewers. The boys start running away from this gold-digging e-thought and are finally able to get away by the time sun sets. While they were walking through a store, Hobin notices a beautiful tracksuit on sale, but the cost for the item was $500. He is shocked to see that anyone would buy this thing, but notices that Snap has already bought one for himself, and encourages Hobin to get one as well. Hobin suddenly realizes that no matter how much money he earns, he will never know how to spend it. He was about to leave the shop when Bulmy texts him and asks him out for a date, which makes him so happy that he buys the tracksuit just to look cool. The next morning, he gets ready in the park with his suit on and waits for her, while some actor-looking streamer walks in and start making all the girls in the area moist. The actor suddenly notices Bulmy and tries to ask for her number, but she rejects him and walks over to Hobin. Hobin realizes that she is not for the streets, while Bulmy seems happy as they are both wearing the same suit. He thinks about how there is always a pecking order, and the weak are forced to bow to the strong. He was always forced to bow to Pack because of his strength. Things come in a circle, and Pack was forced to bow down to Kim in order to not get beat up. He always admired Kim, but also knew he could never be like him as he is tall and muscular compared to his midget-like body with no muscles. Bomi doesn't seem to mind being with a short king, which makes him daydream about a future with her. But she snaps him back to reality and they sit down to eat something. Bomi tries to initiate conversation, but here Hobin completely loses because he has never really talked to a girl before. Bomi keeps trying but realizes that it's of no use as she gets up and prepares to leave, claiming that Hobin talks really nicely over texts but not in person. Us bro us. Just before she could leave, Hobin apologizes and tells her honestly that he has never been out on a date with a girl and spends most of his day at his home watching YouTube. Moreover, he couldn't really look her in the face without getting nervous because she is so pretty. This seems to change Bomi's mind as she finds his honesty nice, and the date continues. They head back outside as the day seems to be going well for Hobin till Bomi tells him that she needs to meet a guy who she was friends with in grade school. Hobin doesn't think much of it, but Bomi claims that the guy is actually in Hobin's class and they might know each other. This surprises Hobin, and he asks who is she talking about. Bomi happily claims that the guy's name is Kim. This literally drops the hammer on Hobin as he can't believe she is friends with Kim, as it basically means there is no chance for him. He starts dreaming about how he will get cucked by the MMA superstar, when Bomi snaps him to reality. Hobin ends up lying and claims that he is good friends with Kim, which makes her happy. But to his horror, Kim ends up walking up to them while wearing the same suit. Bomi meets him happily and tells him that she just learned that Hobin and him are good friends. Kim looks down at Hobin with disgust, while Hobin thinks about what's going to happen now. Hobin can't believe that he blurted out that he was good friends with Kim so confidently just now. He thinks about how losers like him have an unwritten rule, that is to never pretend to be good friends with anyone. Hobin just broke that rule to show off before Bomi, and now he is regretting it. He is ready to face punishment for breaking such an important rule, and believes that this is where he parts ways with Bomi. However, Kim really doesn't mind calling him a friend since they are in the same class. Hobin wonders what the hell is happening because he has never even talked with Kim in school, and he doesn't even know his name. Yet, he knows that Hobin has a YouTube channel and remarks that they are wearing matching outfits. Hobin wonders why is Kim being so nice to him, but hearing that they are friends made him feel really good earlier. The trio takes a walk after that, and Hobin believes that if they ask anyone the question about who is the girl's boyfriend, everyone will say that it is Kim. He thinks that he is definitely the third wheel, and even when he drops behind, no one seems to notice it. Hobin tells Kim and Bomi that he has to head home because his ingrown toenail is hurting him. He walks away, limping on purpose, because if he stays in the company of two attractive people longer than this, he will die of self-loathing. Bomi doesn't seem to be happy that he is leaving so quickly, and it seems she has caught on that Hobin was lying. However, none of them was aware that Snap was nearby, shooting the entire thing with his camera setup. Hobin freaks out on noticing him, but Snap strangles him to stop him from shouting and making things worse. He explains that he was just following him because he was worried. He lectures Hobin about the pathetic excuse he made earlier and asks why he wimped out when things were going so well for him. Hobin tries to free himself from his clutches and tells him to try getting between Bomi and Kim if he thinks he can, and then headbutts him. Hobin yells that he knows better than anyone else that Bomi is way out of his league. Snap pretends to be some sage and says that love is like a fighting tournament, where many guys compete for the attention of one girl. He asks Hobin if he is giving up just because an opponent stronger than him showed up. Hobin meekly replies that he won't lose if he doesn't play, and Snap grabs his collar, telling him the story of a world-famous basketball coach who motivated his players when they were about to give up. The coach told them that if they give up, they have already lost the game, and Snap asks Hobin if he really wants to give up now. He reminds him that it was Bomi who asked him out and bought coffee for him. Snap says that why would someone spend money on a loser like him if they were not interested in him in the first place. He reminds Hobin how sad Bomi looked when he was heading back, and asks if he still wants to quit. Hobin is moved to tears on hearing this and hugs Snap, thanking him for opening his eyes. Snap acts cool, telling him this is what friends are for, and sends Hobin off to confess to Bomi. As Hobin struts confidently towards Bomi, Snap shows his true colors and pulls out the camera setup out of nowhere. He is planning to record Hobin confess to his crush and get rejected, because that is sure to get them a lot of views. However, he spots someone on the way and freezes in his tracks. On the other hand, Hobin has reached Bomi, who asks him if his toenail is fine. He tells her that he got over it, but Kim asks him if he wants his ingrown toenail to be yanked out by a professional. Hobin panics on hearing that, but then Kim suddenly gets up and leaves. Hobin is even more confused now, but Bomi explains that Kim has a match next week, so he must return to practice. Hobin feels relieved that Bomi was not on a date with Kim, and he wishes him best of luck for his next fight. Kim turns around and tells him that he is a good fighter and claims that he checked out his YouTube channel. Kim knows that Hobin moved to intercept the punches early in his last video so that he doesn't get hurt, and asks if he didn't use the next move after that on purpose. Hobin is confused now because he doesn't even understand what the next move was. Anyway, Kim decides to leave, saying that he will wait for his next video. Hobin suddenly realizes that he is not the only one who watches Cockman's channel. After that, he sits down to talk with Bomi, but he is blushing too much to say anything clearly. He fidgets and starts rubbing his pants, gaining enough friction to release smoke from them. He finally gets enough courage and asks Bomi what her ideal type is. She turns red on hearing this and nervously says she prefers an honest person. Hobin feels butterflies and decides to confess his feelings to her honestly. But as he tries telling her that she is his ideal type, he notices Snap hiding in the bushes and yanks him out. Hobin starts lecturing him for setting him up only to record a video, but he is shocked to see that Snap's face is already bruised and swollen. And then the towering figure of Pac appears behind him, who is here for his revenge. Bomi tries to confront them, but Hobin simply asks her to get away from here. Pac says that she has nowhere to go, and suddenly grabs her collar, calling her a bitch for not sharing her number with him earlier. Hobin is angry, but he recalls Cockman's lessons to not let his emotions take control of him during a fight. He taunts Pac, asking him if he wants to be a loser again. This works on the bully, and he charges towards Hobin, who puts his forehead forward to intercept the punch safely. However, what hits him is a powerful uppercut from Pac, who has already seen his video and learnt his fighting style. Hobin loses his balance and curses himself for using the same technique again and again like a fool. He regrets not watching the other videos and wonders what was the next move Kim was talking about. Pac angrily watches towards him, but Hobin's mind is already going blank and he loses consciousness. In that brief moment, he recalls how he used to live a quiet life as a bullied boy, but his attitude changed once he started making money off YouTube. He was overconfident just because he learnt one technique in a fight, and showed his face to the world because that would earn him more money. However, after earning money, he became complacent and began focusing on studying or learning to fight, and that has made him a loser again. It starts raining, and Hobin is on the ground, surrounded by Pac and his friends. He has been beaten pretty badly, and he can only beg Pac to let him go home. His friends hold Bomi tightly, and Hobin begs Pac to at least let her go. He thought that getting beaten was nothing because wounds heal pretty quickly. But this time, he feels that the emotional scar he got by being humiliated in front of Bomi will never get filled. Pac hits him, but Hobin is determined to make sure that Bomi reaches home safely, no matter what it takes. He gets on his knees and apologizes to Pac, who says that his apology lacks sincerity. He tells Hobin to take his pants off and apologize again. That too in front of all his viewers. Snap is being forced by Pac's friends to shoot a live stream for their channel as he gets humiliated, and he can only apologize to his friend while crying. Pac tells him to take his pants off and apologize, and then he will let him go. Then suddenly, Bomi slaps the bully, and he is pissed at her. He tells Snap to point the camera away, because even he can't punch a girl in a live stream. Before he can do that, Hobin gets up and slides down his pants because this is the only way he can save the girl he loves. He takes off everything apart from his underwear and tells Pac to let Bomi go. He laughs at the mad lad who really stripped to apologize and thinks that his career as a YouTuber is over now. He asks him to send all his subscribers to his channel and shut down his account. But Hobin is going to do one last act of retaliation. Bomi suddenly closes her eyes, and even Pack nervously asks Hobin to stop, because he is taking off even his underwear now. He knows that this may mean that Bomi will never look at him ever again, but by doing this, he can make Pack's account permanently banned from YouTube, and that is his final act of resistance. However, just as he is about to pull his underwear all the way down, Kim appears behind him out of nowhere and pulls them back up, lifting Hobin along with them. He tells him to keep them on, and says that he rushed here because he saw Pack's live stream. Kim then calmly walks towards the bullies, and caves in the face of one of them with a single punch. He hits the bully with a rattling punch combo, and then kicks him away. The next bully also gets hit by a barrage of punches, and then it is finally the turn of Pack. He tries to apologize and tell it was just a misunderstanding, but Kim knocks him off his feet with just one hit. He asks Bomi if she is fine, and she replies that she is okay and it is Hobin they should be worried about. Hobin is on his knees and his head is hung down because he is too embarrassed to face anyone. Kim takes Bomi away, and when she tries to reach Hobin, he tells her that he needs to be left alone right now. She keeps glancing back at him while walking away, but the grief and embarrassment stays with Hobin. He wonders, when did he become a loser? He remembers the time when he was a normal student until he met Pack and got beaten by him for no reason. That was the beginning of his hellish school life. He became too afraid to look anyone in the eye, spoke so softly that no one could hear him, and his posture worsened as he began to keep bowing before everyone. The rain finally stops, and Hobin is still on his knees. Snap apologies to him, but he can only cry at his own weakness. Soon after that, Pack is back on his YouTube channel, telling people that he has a fresh model to entertain them. That model is none other than Snap, who is wearing the same ugly clown makeup that Hobin once wore. He wonders where is Hobin now, because it has been days since he last came to school. While Snap acts a fool and cooperates with Pack, all he wants to do is properly apologize to Hobin when he sees him again. Bomi has also tried calling him again and again, but Hobin doesn't even pick up her calls. He is holing up in his house, wishing to disappear from the face of the world. However, that is not what he is doing. He is watching Cockman's YouTube channel and learning to fight. He trains till sweat starts flowing in streaks down his entire body, and watches Cockman saying that all motivational speakers and self-help books are useless. The true desire to change and become stronger comes from within a person and not outside. Hearing this, Hobin starts doing push-ups again, turning his rage into the fuel that drives him forward. He is ready to work as hard as he needs to become a strong fighter. He is ready to devote an entire month to complete all of Cockman's fighting tutorial and become an invincible warrior. Back in the school, Snap is getting bullied by Pack in his live stream, and his viewers are ready to pay him if he can get the boy to strip. Pack calls out Hobin, asking if he is going to leave his friend to endure all this bullying alone. Despite that, with tears in his eyes, Snap asks Hobin to not come to school and stay at home. However, Hobin is watching the live stream, standing right behind him. Pack laughs and says that he was waiting for him, but Hobin simply tosses his phone to Snap and walks to face the bully. Snap doesn't understand anything even as he sees that live streaming is on, and Hobin tells him to stop acting like an idiot and hold the camera properly. He looks Pack in the eye and declares that his channel's returning video is called How to Fight and Beat an Ordinary Person. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe for part 5. And make sure to check out this brand new anime about a loser who gets reincarnated as a prince with godly abilities. The day before this happened, Snap was congratulating Rumi on hitting 100,000 subscribers on her channel. Immediately after that, he began ranting about how it has been 1 month since the bastard Hobin suddenly disappeared. He says that it was too much for a loser like him to suddenly get famous and then get humiliated in front of the world. Rumi asks Snap, wasn't he friends with Hobin, and he replies that he could never be friends with such a loser. When suddenly, Pack came there and put his hand around his shoulder. Pack asks him to repeat what he just said about Hobin, and Snap replies that he was just his business partner, and other than that, he didn't care about him at all. On hearing this, Pack suddenly hits Snap for being a traitor no matter whose side he goes to. He lectured him for sucking up to everyone like a loser and called him even more pathetic than Hobin. The rest of the class gave him scornful looks as well, and Snap knew they were right to call him a worthless loser. He cries, thinking how he is not good at anything, and sucking up to the powerful ones is the only way he can survive without any friends. In the meantime, Pack starts his live stream, and he has completely adopted his gangsta image now, which has made his channel grow even stronger than it was before his downfall. On the other hand, Hobin and Snap's channel Viral Hit is on steady decline because they haven't posted anything in a month. Pack approaches Snap and tells him to bring Hobin to school the next day, because if he can do that, he will allow him to become his cameraman again. Snap curses him in his mind, but accepts the chance anyway. He is ready to survive even if it means selling out his friend for that. That evening, Snap runs to the hospital where Hobin's mom is admitted and barges into her room to ask her where is Hobin. Hobin's mom is shocked that her son is not going to school, so she gives Snap her address, and his face lights up on receiving it. 7:10, however, as she tells Snap that Hobin talks about him a lot and says he is glad to have a friend like him. He is thunderstruck and drops the address. The next day, he goes to the school empty-handed and gets beat up once again by Pack for failing his mission. Pack shows his bruised face on his channel and asks why did he not bring Hobin to school. And Snap replies that he tried calling him out for an hour, but there was no response. Pack slaps him continuously for disappointing his viewers, and then asks him to send a message to Hobin to come to school. He tells Hobin to not come to school because Pack is planning to beat him to get more followers. Pack immediately punches him for doing this and keeps pummeling him till he can't even get up. Pack asks Hobin to come to school if he wants to save his friend, but Snap cries as he tells Hobin to not come to the school at any cost. However, Hobin is standing right behind him as he watches this unfold on the screen. Snap is left speechless by what is happening, but Hobin tosses him his phone and tells him to get back to his work of being his cameraman. He stares at Pack and declares that this is the return video of Viral Hit titled How to Fight and Beat an Ordinary Person. Snap curses Hobin for being a fool to come here despite the warning, but he just puts his palm towards the camera, on which he has written instructions for Snap to focus on him when he says his catchphrase. Pack mocks him for being an idiot and hits him, but Hobin intercepts it using his head to nullify the damage. Pack laughs at him, but Hobin begins moving like a boxer. In response, Pack throws an uppercut to take him down, and as Hobin waits for it to come, he recalls his training over the past month. He heard Cockman call anyone who keeps using just one move an idiot, and believed that he was talking directly to him. He got overconfident just by learning one move and got humiliated before Bomi. Hobin thought he couldn't face Bomi or his subscribers again, and began crying over his weakness. However, he was not ready to give up, and began studying by watching Cockman's videos again. Cockman said that to master the technique he is going to show, anyone needs 1 month of hard training. Before that, he revealed that there are 3 essentials for fighting. First is a person's build, and one needs to take a high-quality protein diet to increase body mass. So Hobin took all the food items with a good protein amount, blended them all together and drank them raw. He vomited everything within seconds and screamed that he can't eat that horrible thing again. So when Cockman said that one should use protein shakes available in the market to increase muscle mass, he felt ashamed at his stupidity. With that, he came to the second essential of fighting, which is willpower. To train his willpower, Hobin drank the abomination blend he created himself and started training with whatever items he could find, because he couldn't waste money on protein shakes and gym membership. The third essential is stamina, and for that Cockman told Hobin to immediately hit the swimming pool because swimming with closed fists is the best way to increase stamina. Well, Hobin was too introverted to go to public swimming pools, so he went to the public baths instead and trained himself there. However, after all this, Cockman told him that there would not be a drastic increase in his stamina or physique after just 1 month, much to his shock. However, that was just the layup to emphasize the importance of techniques and martial arts. He talked about an interview of the dollar store Mike Tyson, who who believed that for a bullied student to protect himself, the most effective move was not boxing but a low kick. Hobin practiced the low kick Cockman taught him over and over again, using garbage bags as his target. Back to the present, he has completely perfected it. He hits Pack with the low kick and makes him weak in the knees. Hobin is satisfied that his hard work didn't go to waste, but Pack just laughs at his pathetic attempt at a low kick. While Pack and most viewers think that a low kick should be aimed at the enemy's thighs, Kim's name pops up in the chat room, and he claims that Hobin's kick landed on the right spot. Well, that is not the same Kim as the one in their class, because he is watching the fight live from the class. However, he too agrees that Hobin's low kick was not only great, but it was also an upgraded version of the normal low kick called the calf kick. Hobin hits Pack with the low kick again, and he shudders because of the intense pain in his calf muscles as a result. Pack attacks him furiously, but Hobin runs away because Cockman taught him that running away is also an important skill in street fights. He manages to stay at a safe distance from Pack while running through the class, and when he sees a chance, he hits him with the calf kick again. However, Pack blocks his next kick and says that a loser like him can only master one move even after training for an entire month. Pack gets on the offensive, but Hobin has been hiding another move he has learned. He charges at Pack, swinging his fists just like he used to do while swimming, and hits him with an overhead hook to his face and sends him crashing into the lockers. Everyone is stunned speechless on witnessing this upset, and then Pack's friends try to intimidate Hobin. However, Snap steps up to defend him from them, daring them to even lay a single finger on his friend. They keep their heads down, and it is not because of Snap, but because of Kim, who is standing menacingly behind Hobin. He tells Hobin that he did a great job, and pats him on the back as he asks him to stop crying. However, even with tears and snot flowing down his face, Hobin doesn't forget to ask his viewers to subscribe to his channel. After that day, Pack stopped coming to school after his reputation hit rock bottom. His subscribers also migrated to Hobin's channel, and he gets the silver play button for crossing 100,000 subscribers. Hobin thanks his viewers by getting into a handstand from a groveling position. Later, he buys some new clothes for his mom, and she talks about his friend who paid her a visit earlier. Turns out Hobin told his mom about Kim, and she didn't quite catch his name, so she mistook Snap for him. Snap was also there to see her, and as he hears that Hobin didn't tell his mom about him, but another person, he gets furious. He throws a tantrum and tries punching Hobin just as he comes out of the room, but he just blocks him while smiling, because he considers Snap his good friend now. If you liked this video, make sure to subscribe for part 6. And make sure to check out this brand new anime about a loser who gets reincarnated as a prince with godly abilities.